Good Tuesday afternoon, everyone. I hope you can hear me. I'm hoping that you can hear me. I'm not sure that you can. All right, Monica Corrado here, the Gap Chef. I'm a little backwards today, but that's okay. It is Tuesday. It is the, 11th of June? How did that happen? We're here now at our new time. Golly, folks, things are so busy these days that it's getting harder and harder to get into and do a Facebook Live. So what I think I may be doing going forward, I don't know. Maybe just mix it up and come whenever I can make it. I don't know, whether it's a Tuesday or Saturday or Monday or whatever. Anyway, Monica Corrado here, the Gap Chef. I am happy to be with you. I am not a medical doctor. I am a certified GAPS practitioner, a teaching chef, a holistic nutritionist, and all around, I am on Dr. Natasha's teaching team, and I teach the certified GAPS practitioners and coaches the GAPS cooking techniques. So I like to do Facebook Lives on topics that are important to people. I'm trying to make these available so that you can get your questions answered and have access to a certified GAPS practitioner and get whatever questions you have answered about the GAPS diet, how to do it, why to do it, when to do it, all the different parts of GAPS. At this point, Dr. Natasha calls it the full spectrum of GAPS. So we've always had intro and full diet. We have the transition diet off. We have no plant, more plant, GAPS liquid fast, keto GAPS. Yeah, we are just really taking the GAPS diet and I don't want to say morphing it, but certainly crafting it so that it can address so many situations. And so today I thought I would talk a little bit. I'm supposed to say I'm not a medical doctor. Okay, I'm not a medical doctor, so I'll give you what I got, but nothing I say has to do with healing or has been approved by the FDA. Okay, so in any case, I want to talk a little bit about that fabulous thing, which is GAPS. So many people with so many issues and different health issues, different diseases, different diagnoses. And so I want to talk about two things today, maybe three, but two things today, and then I'll take your questions. The first thing I'd like to say is why GAPS works for so many things. GAPS works for so many issues because fundamentally it is made of clean food and real food, sustainably sourced food, the best quality food you can find. GAPS is made of real food, and it has food that's cooked in a way that maximizes the nutrition. And so the reason that the GAPS diet works for so many people is because it addresses two things, which are rampant in our world today, whether you are in the Western industrialized world or you're just living on the planet. And those things are malnutrition and toxins. So most people in the world are malnourished, meaning that even when people eat a lot of food, they're eating food that is not nutritious, or they're eating things that are maybe look like food, smell like food, taste like food, but it's really not food. It's CRAP. It is something processed. It's something that's lacking in nutrients and is very high in toxins. If it's processed, it probably has glyphosate in it, which will, of course, have damaging effects to the gut, and be very, very, very low in nutrition. So GAPS works because it addresses malnutrition and toxicity. So one of the things that I talk about when I talk with anybody who will listen to me about GAPS is that I call it the two-track strategy. Has to do with my background. Dual tracks, 2 tracks. You need to have the food and you need to have the detox program. You need to have the food and the detoxification at the same time. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Jody. Hi, Sandy. Who else is here? Hi, Cindy. Hi, whoever else is here. Hello, hello. So we need to have 2 things going on at the same time. Address the malnutrition by finding the best quality food you can find, by cooking it in a way that maximizes the nutrition, right? By eating it when you are centered and grounded and present and appreciating the food. By breathing before you eat, 3 deep breaths. By doing the GAPS mealtime ritual. This is all the way that we get that vagus nerve working so that you can actually digest your food, right? So we do all of that, and we bring in foods that are what? Nutrient dense. We bring in foods that are what? Live, fermented, cultured, full of beneficial bacteria, beneficial yeast, beautiful, gorgeous, wonderful enzymes, and vitamin C, real vitamin C, not ascorbic acid, right? So it has all this, the food, you're bringing in organ meats, you're bringing in real salt, not table salt. You're bringing in homemade yogurt, not commercial yogurt, right? Yogurt that's lactose-free and high in good bacteria and low or negative in lactose and all sorts of other things. And so, such a wonderful, wonderful thing to eat in this way, and then at the same time to support the body's detoxification, because we know that the world is toxic, I'm sorry to say. And even though we are built to detoxify, when our digestion isn't working, because of so many reasons, you can go into that in either the yellow book or the blue book. Why do we have digestive systems that are leaky or not able to digest food, not high enough levels of stomach acid, all sorts of things? Then we are full of toxins. So we need to really support the detoxification processes of the body. We need to get the detox pathways open because we have toxins in the food, not the stuff that we're trying to eat on GAPS, but there are toxins in on the crops. There are toxins in the air, chemtrails. There are toxins in the water. Talked about water 2 weeks ago, and the absolutely critical to be drinking pure water, to be making your lacto-fermented vegetables and tonics with pure water, to be bathing in pure water, right? We talked about that. So toxins are everywhere. And so what do we need to do? Support the liver. And you know I have at least 2 or 3 videos on my YouTube channel about how to support the liver, right? Castor oil packs for the liver, and eating liver for the liver, and drinking beet kvass for the liver, and having, right, GAPS shakes for the liver, and all sorts of things. Of course, coffee enemas for the liver, and Epsom salt. So detoxing. So those are the reasons why GAPS will work for people. Almost every condition, right? So because the body needs nutrition. The body needs animal foods to be well. Ultimately, we know that plant foods are cleansers, animal foods are builders, and your body is constantly rebuilding itself all the time. Remember that collagen is the #1 protein in the body. That's how it shows up in your body. Collagen. Collagen cannot be made from plants, folks. You can't find it in the plant kingdom. You can't find the building blocks in the plant kingdom. It's just not there. So we have to be eating collagen in order to take care of this hair and this skin and this skin and your beautiful capillaries and your stomach and your, right, all the epithelial tissue, all of the fascia, all of the muscles, every other darn thing, we need to have collagen. So make sure that you are having those, I always smile when I think of Dr. Natasha calling them nibbly bits. The nibbly bits. Make sure that you're having the nibbly bits, meaning the cartilage, the connective tissue, the skin, the cartilage, skin, ligaments, tendons. What can you be eating that is from those beautiful, meaty bones, right? Got to have it. Got to have that, and you've got to have the vitamin C from things like sauerkraut and cabbage tonic. If anybody wants the cabbage tonic recipe, it's up under featured posts on our page. There's a little article I wrote about cabbage tonic versus beet kvass. What are they? What are the recipes? Why do they work? How do they work? All those good things. When to drink them. So again, folks, this is my personal analysis about why GAPS works for everyone, but it's not rocket science, which is this. GAPS addresses malnutrition, one of the biggest problems in the world today. And it's not because people don't, it's not because people don't have enough to eat. They can actually eat food, but it's actually not food, or it's not good food, or it's not nutrient-dense food, or et cetera, or it's food full of toxins, or someone calls it food, but it's not really food. So, GAPS addresses malnutrition because of the type and the quality of the foods that are on the GAPS diet, and because of the way that we prepare them. And it addresses toxicity, because there has to be, again, my 2-track strategy: food, nutrition, good nutrition, what are you eating, what are you not eating, and how are you supporting the body to detoxify. So I just wanted to bring those things up, folks. Very, very important. Why does GAPS work? That's why GAPS works. Now, why else? So there's another piece here that I've talked about a million bazillion times. Well, maybe 10 or 20. Which is all about you can be sourcing well, meaning clean food, right? Pastured eggs, pastured meat, pastured chicken, right? Wild caught fish, all that good stuff. Raw dairy. You can be culturing them well and every other thing. And so you can be doing all those things. But if your digestion is not working, then, I'm never going to say you might as well be eating at McDonald's because, or any other place, fast food joint. But you have to have adequate production of stomach acid. Now, the baking soda burp test is again up at featured posts, so you can check that out. I have it there where you can just take a look at it. It's called baking soda burp test or the stomach acid test. I encourage everyone to do that and do it, I don't know, maybe every month, maybe every 3 months. And the best way to get that stomach acid up is with bitters. Taking bitters, bitter herbs. Sometimes they're called Swedish bitters. There are also just bitter herbs. Artichoke is a bitter herb. Burdock root is a bitter herb. Look for bitters. Take bitters before a meal. It's a liquid that you could put into beautiful mineral water, sparkling mineral water, make it an aperitif. Children love to have bubbly water, but it is bitter. I'd love for you to do that. There are what we call stomach acid boosters. That's what Dr. Natasha calls them in both the yellow and blue books. Stomach acid boosters, which are betaine hydrochloric acid with pepsin. But I personally would rather see you try to use food, which is either bitters or sauerkraut juice or sauerkraut or a raw cabbage salad prior to a meal before you start taking hydrochloric acid. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. Certainly HCl cannot be taken by children. So we're talking about adults with HCl, but try the bitters first to see if it can get your stomach acid up, because you must have stomach acid production high enough for the body to actually turn on, that's my phrase, but activate, release the enzymes, the digestive enzymes that you need, right, to break down your food. So please take a look at that. I always encourage people to go back to the source. I always encourage people to go back and ask Dr. Natasha, get on her website, gaps.me. Ask questions. She's answering things in the FAQs all the time. I love that. So much information is good. Good information there. But also to get to the books and look up what she says about stomach acid boosters, stomach acid production. Very important to have an understanding of that. Because again, I don't know, but I always say there's two things that can derail the GAPS diet. Maybe there's a million, but in this moment, what's coming to me is 1, low stomach acid, not enough stomach acid to actually digest your food, and then to start the rest of the digestive process. Remember, it's important for that reason. Yeah? Not only to break down that steak or that beautiful beef from the meat stock you made, or the chicken or the fish or the whatever, but to actually activate, start, continue. I'd go like this because it's like a domino effect. Boom, boom, right? The enzymes. So take a look at that. Very important. The second thing that can derail, I think, a good effort at, all right, maybe there's 3, at the GAPS diet is trauma. Trauma. Trauma, trauma. So work with Star of Bethlehem, Flower Remedy from Bach. Work with Rescue Remedy from Bach. Support the body. Yeah, the last one I was going to say, the third one that came up is the vagus nerve, but that really is connected to autonomic nervous system dysregulation. So anyway, that's what I've got for today. I hope that's helpful to you, to someone, and I'm happy to answer some questions. I'm going to say hello to people. Hello, Cindy. Hello, Jody. Hello, Sandy. Hello. Yes, hello, Charisse. Great to have you. Hello, Roseanne. I say that to Charisse because she's one of the strong contributors on both my page and the GAPS diet group page. Many things. She knows a lot, and we appreciate you jumping in, Charisse, with your knowledge to help others. Hello, Roseanne. Hello, Shaima. Hello, Rebecca. Good to have you. Hey, Kathleen. Hey, Joanna. Good to have you. Hey, Dill. Woo. Hello. So good. Hey, I just want to know if you like my pink earrings. These were my mom's, and yes, they are from 1970. Anyway, thinking of my mama today. Okay, so let's see. Kathleen has a question. 21-month-old child is showing extreme signs of some form of colitis, including lots of blood. I'm so sorry. Just last night, my symptoms flared as well. My other daughter had a wet stool too. Could this be infectious colitis? I have no idea. And a reason to quit breastfeeding the 21-month-old, since it seems I will need to go on to what is basically the intro diet to calm my colon. I think I need to take her. Folks, yeah, one more time with feeling. Kathleen and everybody else, I'm not a medical doctor. If you need some help with this type of thing, I would definitely take that child in. Find a good naturopathic doctor, find a good doctor. There are good doctors out there. Really, there are. They get into that profession because they care about people. So find them. Regarding quote-unquote infectious colitis, I don't know infectious colitis, but if what you're saying is, are you giving your 21-month-old colitis through your breast milk? I don't think so. But I'm not sure that that's possible, but again, I don't know. I would definitely get to see someone, especially when you have blood in the stool, for a child. And what do you need to calm your colon? One thing, folks, remember that no plant gaps is a tool that you can use when plants are causing disturbance. Meaning, when do we know plants are causing disturbance in the diet, in the body? When you have diarrhea? Certainly, if you're having a colitis flare, that is a plant issue in my understanding. Yeah, when you're having diarrhea, that means take out the plants. When you're having colitis, IBS, failure to thrive, and I don't know how many other things, no plant. Even if you don't do the no plant diet, I'm putting it in quotes, but you take plants out for a week or two or a month. Take them out. Plants are not necessary to live and to be healthy. They absolutely are not needed. That's where no plant came from, folks. Dr. Natasha had several patients that she was working with that just were not doing well with any other rendition, any other gaps, I don't know, flavor, if you will, and she just took out all the plants, and then the healing started. So I would really look at taking the plants out. Anyone that has any kind of colitis or IBS or, take the plants out. Take it out for a week. Take it out for a week's not going to be long enough. Month, 2 months, 3 months. Even if you don't do the whole no plant, there is a very big benefit to taking plants out and just doing meat stock and the meat in the stock and the beautiful kefir and the yogurt and the cultured cream and the whey, right? There's plenty of food in that diet. You do not need to have the plants for sure. Dill wants to know if kombucha decreases stomach acid. Not to my knowledge, Dill. I mean, kombucha is an acid itself. So I don't believe that it would decrease stomach acid. That's not something that I'm aware of, and I wouldn't think that would be the case. Dill wants to know, why does kefir irritate the throat? So a couple things. Could be rebalancing the microbes in your throat. Could also be part of the mucociliary escalator, which I know Sandy's going to laugh about because she's on here and she knows I say that. Dr. Natasha calls it the mucociliary escalator. The muco, M-U-C-O, like as in mucus. Mucociliary escalator. So when you drink and eat cultured dairy and you start getting phlegm up, that is the beautiful healing effect of the cultured dairy, bringing up the mucus out, getting the toxins out. So that's a thought. Okay. Kathleen must know, mostly just wondering if I should stop nursing while I heal my symptoms, since it will likely cause some die-off. I think you know the answer, Kathleen. So a couple things. At 21 months old, you probably can stop nursing. I mean, obviously, nursing long when you're healthy is great and really good for your child. And if mama's got stuff going on, remember, it's not just about, the child's going to have die-off. It's also about, is mama in a nutrient deficient state? Do you need to stop nursing so you can heal yourself? Remember, moms, can't pour from an empty bucket. So that may be a very, very good idea, Kathleen. Yeah, and again, I am totally for breastfeeding, especially with healthy moms breastfeeding, right? But And you've gone to 21 months. That's almost 2 years. Should be fine. To wean with baby gaps. And take care of yourself. Fill that bucket up. Fill that bucket up. All right, we've got a question. Hello, Kelly. We've got Shema. I hope I said that right. Do you think mast cell activation can heal? I have been on GAPS for a while with very low improvements. I'm going to show you my optimistic self and say, I think everything can heal. And I think that Dr. Natasha would say the same. In terms of low so let me just say, GAPS is your best bet, folks. And maybe that's why I started talking about that today, was with you in mind. Who knew? Right? Like what can't GAPS heal? When you're talking about the best quality food, right? Lots of beautiful ferments, good fat, beautiful organ meat, right? Stock, collagen, all sorts of gorgeous stuff. What can it heal? What else has got that in it out there? Zero, right? Certainly not vegetarian and vegan. They're not going to heal you. They can cleanse you very well, but over the long term, not so much. So when you talk about very low improvements, now, again, I'm not your practitioner, so I don't know what that means. I don't know how long you've been doing GAPS. I don't know if you've done intro and you've done it well and long. I don't know where you came in terms of symptoms. Well, all I can say to you and to everyone else is do the best you can. Eat a lot of meat stock with good salt, made with good water, and eaten with lots of fat. Make sure you're having organ meats every day. Every day. Make sure that your food is homemade. So there's lots of reasons that, quote unquote, there's low improvements. I really also encourage everyone always to read the chapter that Dr. Natasha wrote on healing. It's called Healing. It's in the Blue Book, and it'll give you a sense of the fact that our bodies are very wise, and when they are given what they need in order to repair and heal, they will do it, and that the body will choose to allocate resources, nutrition, to places that maybe our mind would never think of. So we may think that healing isn't happening, but in fact it's happening very, very deeply in the body, in the being. Yeah. So. Yeah. But, the body's doing what it's doing, and it knows, and it's brilliant. And so it may look like there's not healing happening, but there really is healing happening. And that you just have to stay the course. And the longer you've been out of balance, folks, the longer you need to be having GAPS, being on GAPS. You've been out of balance for 40 years, 20 years, whatever it is. Commit to being on GAPS for half that time. Or maybe for at least 3 to 4 to 5 years. Yeah. All right. Hey, Sherry. Pot belly means usually, for anyone, if you have that big belly, it usually means a yeast imbalance, and that the child or the adult should be off of all sugar, fruit, nuts, seeds, and should be really working on switching the microbial balance. Yeah. All right, Rebecca's got our last question today. If a juvenile arthritis child is on full GAPS and not finding healing, would you recommend trying intro first or going to no plant GAPS? Yeah, Rebecca and everyone else, if you're sitting on full, please go back and watch the video I did called Challenges of Full GAPS. I really believe that full GAPS can bring healing. It will be slower, and it will be not as deep, if you will, than going on to intro. because there's just too many factors in full that are, random. That, if you really, in my estimation, this is the word according to Monica, I believe you need to be on intro to really see the healing happen, and you need to sit on stage 2 for 3 to 6 months or longer. Just sit there. Something else coming to me. What is it? Oh, and of course, if you were coming from the standard American diet or a high processed food diet, then you will have healing getting to full. But if you're coming to full gaps from like a Weston A. Price diet, or from a diet where you're already eating ferments and kefir and blah, 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 it will be marginal. So I would say go to intro when you can. I found a grass-fed beef liver. The seller said maybe they gave it some antibiotics. Is that okay? Should be fine. Some liver is better than no liver. All right, everyone, that's what I've got time for today. I hope it was helpful. It's wonderful to be with all of you and to see you again, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Do visit Ask the Gap Chef on Facebook. I probably have 30 or 50 or I don't know how many videos up there on all sorts of GAPS topics. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. All right. Be well, all. Bye-bye now.